Okay, let's dispel some lies, pure nonsense, and twaddle. A bunch of people sent me a link to a video posted recently, very recently. And in this video, it is claimed that you have 2.25 times as much noise if you take the exact same lens between a crop sensor body and a full frame. Okay, that is a lie. It's not true. Let's just state that it is not willful deception, rather it is ignorance. And you see, I got the hardcore proof, of which the person that made this claim has zero proof. No pictures were posted by this person. Okay? This is just about being a truth seeker, okay? Because you can plant all sorts of crazy stuff in people's head. And you know, one of the things throughout history, especially in the modern age, is that you can actually, saw someone outside the door as the mailman, you can use math and try to skew people's minds. And this is the formula that is used. The person says, well, 2.25 times as much noise. Now, it is true that if you take the exact same lens between a full-frame camera and a DX crop sensor, you do have to enlarge to get like an 8 by 10 print or a 20 by 30 print. You obviously have to enlarge that image more, 2.25 times as much on the crop sensor than you do the full frame. Now, I'm going to point out to you the hardcore reasons why this is absolute rubbish, nonsense, and twaddle, and I've got the images to prove it, which I'll link to you below. The person says, well, the noise that you have is the, he says the full frame noise times the crop factor squared. Well, that looks like a nice piece of math. The only problem is it leaves out the three most important variables that have to do with the actual image recorded that are not even in that formula. So this person is completely wrong. And those three things are pixel pitch, gain, see, all exposure is gain in time, and signal processing. Now, I did test shots, and I've got the full unaltered JPEGs, which I'll give you the links to below. There's from the D810, there's from the D500. And I actually have scaled these up to match like a 20 by 30 print. I got the D500 on the left, D810 on the right. I've got three different images. You'll actually notice that there is a slight difference between the two, but that is resolution. See, what this person in their crazy formula, which is totally incorrect, fails to mention to you is that, like the D810 is a 36 megapixel camera, right? Well, the Nikon D500 here, I'll use this exact same lens, the 17 to 55 at 55 millimeter, exact same exposure, exact same distance, tripod, everything same. All I did was switch bodies with the same lens. This is a 47 megapixel camera. Well, no, it's not. It's a 20.9 megapixel. No. This camera scaled up is 47 megapixels. The D500, if you take the 20.8 to 20.8 times 2.25, you have a 47 megapixel camera. Well, it's not a full frame camera. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what's enlarged here, which is the basis of this person's claim. You see, I cannot stand it when someone, this is what most people do, because most people are moo or bah, bah. They're sheep. They're like, oh my God, they got a math formula. It must be right. No, it's not right. The three most important variables, and see, this person provides no picture proof. None. Zip, zilch, zero, nada. I've got it right here. Do the test yourself. Oh, that's a math formula, so it's got to be right, you know? You can't argue with math. Well, yeah, you can if you leave out three incredibly important variables. Pixel pitch, meaning that there's more information, like on this little postage stamp taken about 4 feet away, there's more information on the D500. See, this lens craps out the same light, and this person finally agrees with that. This lens has no idea what camera's underneath it. It craps the same light. Boom, 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 boom. That doesn't matter, okay? So we have more information per square millimeter of sensor on the D500 than we do on the D810. Well, the D810's a 36 megapixel sensor. That can't be right. Yeah, it is right. The pixel pitch on the Nikon D500, if it were scaled up, would be 47 megapixels. So this is an example of me blowing the image up to a 20 by 30. Whoops, I went a little too far on that one. Let me roll back to the other image here. Okay. Now, what you do see is not at all what he claims. There is no more noise here. There's absolutely zero noise, additional noise on the D8. There's 2.25 times as much noise here than there is here. No, there isn't. You know what there is over here? There is a little bit less resolution because there is more translational data per square millimeter of sensor here on the left than there is on the right, because this, if I magnify these both exactly the same time and print them out, there is more. This is why every professional bird shooter in the world, not everyone, but most of them, are using full frame big ol' ass lenses on DX crop sensors. Why would you use a $15,000 lens on a $500 Nikon D7100? Because it's 24 megapixel camera. That 24 megapixel camera, the pixel pitch, if it were scaled up, would be a 54 megapixel full frame camera. They crop the hell out of their shots. This is a heavily cropped shot of a damn postage stamp. Let me show you the unaltered image. This is, yeah, is that the image that we're looking at here? Yeah, we're looking at this little postage stamp of the shot that was taken, which is right here. This little postage stamp. Boom. Let's just say there's no difference between this postage stamp and a little birdie, right? Right? Exactly right. Damn. So don't mislead people. You see, now I may be fat, bald, and ugly, which is definitely true, but I've been in the photography business 20 years longer. I know a little few more things than some people might know. Now, we all make mistakes. God knows I've made enough mistakes in my life. We've all made mistakes. All of us. But my idea that is, if you're going to post a math formula and, people get so stupid. People's brains turn off when you post a math. Well, oh, what's math? It's got to be right. Oh! No, it's not right. Because this formula does not take into account pixel pitch, gain, and really, really important. See, the Nikon D500 just came out. While the Nikon D810 is still the flagship camera at 36 megapixels, this has got superior signal processing. That math formula does not take into account incredibly important pixel pitch, incredibly important gain, and incredibly important signal processing. Doesn't take it into account. If we blow it up really, really crazy and look at that postage stamp over here, D810 on the right, you look at the pictures. I'll link them below. There is not more noise here, much less 2.25 times as much noise. There is a little bit less resolution because this is a 36 megapixel camera, and this is, if it were full frame, the pixel pitch is a 47 megapixel camera if it were scaled up. Since we're looking at the exact same postage stamp scaled up to the same degree, then there's no difference in saying this is a 47 megapixel camera and this is a 36 megapixel camera. That means there is more detail, there is more information here. A little bit less resolution. That's not noise. There is not more noise here in the white areas or in the dark areas of this postage stamp between the two. That's not the case. It's not that the guy's numbers are wrong or that he's intentionally lying. He just doesn't have all the variables plugged in. All the variables. So the notion that there's 2.25 times as much noise over here is not true. I posted you the photographic examples. This person did not post you any photographic examples. Okay, this is not a war. This is just about facts. Let's be factual. Let's have all the information and all the facts. I got the facts for you. That math formula does not take into account pixel pitch, gain, or signal processing. And how important is that? Well, damn, it's really important. You know? And it's kind of like the people at NASA that did all the calculations and then they forgot that, oh, gee, we kind of forgot about those gigantic ice sheets falling off of the main fuel tank and putting a gigantic hole in the wing of the space shuttle, which will cause it to burn up in the atmosphere upon re-entry. You've got 10,000 of the smartest geeks in the world working for that. Well, we plugged in all the equations. Yeah, but you forgot all the variables. The variables that destroyed the first space shuttle, we've done all the math. Yeah, but you forgot about the variables. And then the second space shuttle that burned up on well, you got 10,000 geeks with the slide rulers and calculators. We've done all the math. You forgot the variables. That's why the first one blew up, and it's why the second one blew up on re-entry. Yeah, see, you can have the math, but if you don't have all the variables plugged in, then you've got nothing. Yeah. That's what we call the last straw that broke the camel's back. You know, you think you got it all. No. So this is untrue. See, now, while it is true that this has to be scaled up 2.25 times as much, I mean, you can take a look at it right here. Okay, that's the D810. Excuse me, here's the D810 image. And this is the D500 image. They're both exactly as taken at 55 millimeters. 55 millimeters. Exact same distance. Exact same projection. This is a crop of the projection off of this. You'll notice too, by the way, that I don't have DX crop mode off on the D810. I did take DX crop mode off on the D810. This is the full frame image from the D810 taken at f4.5. There's basically no vignetting. This lens is excellent, by the way, for basically having even no vignetting. It's a DX crop sensor lens, having no vignetting on a full frame camera. It's like, well, that's a DX lens. It's going to vignette on a full frame if you stick it in full frame mode. Not necessarily, no. No. Is there 2.25 times as much noise here as there is over here? Let's take a look. Let me see. The answer to that is hell no, there isn't. No, there is not. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.